Well, after Maxine's apartment visit, did you go to Ben Getty's apartment? I assume that's where you were headed?
I
I
don't know.
think Kaya and Legacy were heading to Big Geddy's.
Mm-hmm.
Neon was fucking off to a party to go steal some shit.
Yeah,
Hmm.
to go and like meet up with Kaneko and start pulling in some cash money.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I needed
Uh,
Kaya's help at some point to set up my drone, though.
so let me get a rough idea of. Well, first we'll continue from once you get back to Ben Getty's apartment, because I imagine you have some things you would want to talk about, and Ben Getty and Lockhart would have already gotten the grocery shopping done, and would either be like cooking, eating, or finishing dinner somewhere in there by the time you're done with Maxine's weird
Hmm.
touch base, and then you're at their apartment now. So, um, you this is the first time that you're seeing the place, Legacy.
Yup.
Uh, but it's very nice. It's a very like well, it's a very artificial type of nice. It's this gentrified kind of colonial nice where everything looks like an early episode of like it looks like a very tight built commercialized townhouse area. It's not too cramped, but it's definitely like made with compactness in mind because the station has limited real estate. Um, and when you see it, at first there's this like wave of like, holy shit, he owns this whole house, and no, it's condos. So it looks like a townhouse from the street, but once you go up and into it, you can see that it is divided into two separate condominiums, a top floor and a bottom floor condominium. So the bottom floor condominium
Come back to
goes
your mic. Come
into.
back to your mic.
Oh, sorry. I was adjusting something. Okay. But the top part of the condominium sits like basically at street level, maybe a little bit higher. And you can see it's basically split level stairs, one that goes up and one that goes below. The lower staircase goes below the road, and the idea was that they would build houses one above and one below because they could profit off of the real estate while making literally sub underground houses. Relatively speaking, it's underground, and it helps them save, helps the government and other real estate agencies save on space. But when you get here, uh, it looks similar to Maxine's in a superficial way. But when you go down below, the hallway is this smooth white Star Wars Episode 4 kind of hallway. Like it's very matte and pristine. Um, and at the end there is a sealed door with no knob, and there is a uh, like basically keyless entry pad where you can ring the doorbell or open the door with whatever tech signature that you have. Um, but once you get there, uh, that is where we'll start because this is as far as Kaya got last time. Well,
Is
no,
it?
Kaya actually didn't
Yeah.
Kaya go inside? Yeah,
Yeah,
never
she did
mind.
go inside.
Kaya went inside.
Yeah. Because we
Kaya
picked
went
up
into the
snacks on the way.
labs. She didn't see the rest of it, just the labs.
Mm-hmm.
Legacy will ring the bell and then proceed to just like kick twice the door. Does it not? Just like, let me in.
You ring the bell. You don't hear anything, but you hear the like soft of the pad like recognizing you have had some input. Um, and you can kick the door. It doesn't have a really satisfying reverberating gong, it kind of sounds like you just kicked the wall of a boat. But after a second, on the other side of the door, Lockhart, you would hear with Ben Getty. What would you like to be doing at this point in time?
Probably doing dishes, I guess.
Okay, so you're in the middle of dishes. Ben Getty has gone back down to his lab because he's not going to help you with dishes unless you grab him by the neck and make him.
Nah.
No?
No, she'll do dishes.
Okay.
Trying to get the
But-
stains off that freaking blender.
She has won the battle of making him eat not protein paste. She's not going to win the dishes battle on top of it.
There's time.
Small
There's time.
small
steps.
victories. But as you're doing the dishes, you hear the soft like "Ooh" of a doorbell, and then you hear two. And the door. So from your position, Lockhart, you are in the quote unquote upstairs. The upstairs does not go vertically up; it goes vertically down. So it is technically a lower floor, but it is built as though it were like the upper landing kind of communal den, kitchen, living room area. Imagine like a traditional townhouse, but like stacked in reverse.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
So you take the staircase down further from the lab to get to this area. And you hear the doorbell go off. Ben Getty, you hear him just be like, fucking who? And just confusedly get up and start shuffling towards the door. And from the inside, there is a computer panel that mirrors the one on the outside, except it isn't just like a blank, opaque input where you can ring a doorbell or scan your way in. It is a full, like, diagnostic scanning camera tool. So, from Ben Getty's point of view, he can see basically Kaya and Legacy standing to the side in this like weirdly distorted fisheye lens. It's basically a peephole, but more expensive. After a second, Ben Getty just goes, "Hi," and he reaches over and presses something, and the door from the other side, it slides to the side. Like it folds into the wall, or not folds, but like does that Star Wars spaceship thing where it just slides into the wall instead of actually opening like a door.
Mm-hmm.
And you see Ben Getty standing there, like his traditional garb has now he's now found his traditional favorite clothing to wear. His kind of ratty medium length jeans, or medium cut simple blue jeans with like a boring white t-shirt. This one has a couple stains on it that are new, probably from the food that he just ate. And he looks disheveled, but in like a okay, cool. He's definitely more relaxed now. This is the normal Ben Getty disheveled, not the frantic, we've been like high octane dealing with problems Ben Getty disheveled. And before he gestures you in, he stands in front of you, blocking the doorway, and just goes, "Take off your shoes."
What?
Just
Take off your shoes. I don't want you shaking around the house.
Bengatti, we fucking talked about this.
Well, I forgot what she said.
You know, fine, whatever. Fucking, fuck. She's gonna take off her fucking boots, and she's gonna shove them in her fucking pocket. Roll them up, shove them in her fucking jumpsuit pocket. Just gesture for Legacy to just just fucking do it.
You do realize if I take off my shoes, they still have to go in your apartment because I'm not leaving them out here.
Then Getty narrows his eyes at you, and you Legacy, like, from now that he's mentioned taking off your shoes, you look down and there is a noticeable, like, footprinted spot beside the door where people who wear, like, boots and sneakers would typically leave their shoes outside of the door. But he's just glaring at you, and you just fucking fine. Leave him by the door at least. Like, not in the lab area.
It's like she just like stares at him for a second, and then slowly takes off her shoes, and will stick them inside the door. She's not happy about it, very clearly.
Then Getty is not happy that you're putting them inside his house. So it's a lose-lose in pettiness both ways. Well, you can leave your boots there if you want. You don't have to put them in your pocket, which is, gotta be honest, it's a little weird. Aren't they muddy?
No, they're not fucking muddy.
Do you think we go to the fucking gardens or whatever? We're in the fucking city. There's no mud. We are in space.
Well, then there might be, like, gamma shit on them. It's gross.
No.
Like trash.
Space mud.
I fucking take care of my boots. Look, we've already talked about how a couple specks of dirt aren't gonna fucking kill you. Alright? I'll just put them next to her shoes, alright?
Yeah, that's what I mean. You can just do it. It's fine. Fine. It's fine.
Can
It's
Lockhart
fine.
come in with some plastic bags to, like, you know, like the Ziploc baggies, the big ones?
Yeah.
Just to put
You-
underneath.
So you are not putting her shoes in a bag.
No, not in. Like, put it underneath.
Like a tiny little, like a, basically like a shoe coaster.
Yes, basically.
Yeah, sure.
You know how you
Thanks a lot.
solve this like issue that you have? Fucking welcome mat. You fucking wipe off your shoes. All the shit that's on them is off of them before they come in the apartment. Ever think about that? They cost like $10.
Well, I did think about it, but none of them, like, match the aesthetic of the whole. Like, where am I gonna get a bleach white fucking thing? And he, like, gestures, like, to the ground.
I
Plus,
mean, you could
if
also...
you wipe your shoe on it, then it's gonna get muddy, and it'll be this disgusting off-white color.
All you gotta do is
Look
clean
like
it.
sour milk.
You do realize you could clean the mat, right?
What? But, well, it would just get dirty again.
I mean, or you can just, I don't know, build a fucking shoe rack.
He opens his mouth to say something and just goes, hold on. And puts a finger to his mouth and just, like, thinks about it. And you can see now the gears turning in his head, like, I could build a shoe rack.
Yeah.
But it's like a more, like, in quotation marks, shoe rack, because it's not gonna be just a pipe construction where you put your shoes on it and it's good. No, it's never that simple.
It's gonna be a fucking cleaning station for shoes.
Sanitation
He's
station.
clearly thinking of something, and then he turns around and takes a few steps in and just goes, "Oh, you can come in now."
Thanks.
Legacy just sighs very dramatically and walks into the apartment.
You can hear Ben Getty's eyes rolling, and he turns back and closes the door, and you hear the shh as it seals itself shut. And you get to see his lab for the first time, Legacy. And just as a refresher for Kaya and everybody else, the lab is this very, like, state-of-the-art, incredibly thick with machinery and cabling type of place. It is a just, like, techno jungle of things. But it doesn't have the same sort of appearance as this sort of disheveled, mad scientist vibe, where there's cables and nonsense papers everywhere, and it's just a mess. It's a lot more orderly than you would have expected from Ben Getty. He's got a very, very specific type of system. There's a notebook at every machine that is set in a specific spot, and the notes are related to anything he's doing at that particular machine at any given point. He has cable management solutions that are very, very intricate, like cable piping that is snaked along the walls and snaked along the like side. What is it called? Grouting, I think. I fucking forget the word, but it's like snaked along the grouting of the floor and the corners of walls and the ceiling. And it is an impressive setup. This is if this is the state his lab is in, if you saw this before you met him, you would be shocked that it was his. But Legacy, you walk in and you see some of the technology that you've only heard about in like you've only heard about this being used for certain projects, but there are machines and tooling devices and scanning equipment that are extremely expensive, and like by design they are, I don't really know a good word for it besides potent. But the type of technology you're looking at here is like the blend of where your expertise in the software side of things meets Kaya's expertise on the practical application of machinery. Ben Getty is that neat middle ground.
Mm-hmm.
And it is it looks like a techno wonderland. This is like a Disney World of technological things you can play with. And Ben Getty is just watching, looking at you like, what?
Legacy is just gonna like start at one end of the room and kind of just like slowly go through and inspect things. She's not messing with anything too much, but she's just kind of examining and making sure she's understanding what everything is for the most part. And while she's doing that, she'll kind of glance around, like count, okay, Bengetti and Kaya and Lockhart's fucking disappeared again, and just like pause. You found out more shit about the fucking dreamers, come back down here. Loud enough for Lockhart to see here.
Ben,
You hear the water turn off. in steps.
Oh, seriously, what were you doing down there?
what? Well, she's doing the dishes.
Oh, you help them?
None.
Alright, after we talk, I can help you with it.
Fucking, we're going downstairs. All right. So he follows Kaya downstairs, who goes down with Lockhart to help with dishes.
Oh, I said after we talk.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were just like, okay, cool, and you're just going downstairs.
I mean,
In the
if you
lab.
want, we can do the dishes now.
No. Ben Getty, it's actually convenient to be in the lab and have a conversation for the fact that there is a chair at every station. So you can easily go and find a seat and pull it up, roll it over, and have like a round table meeting.
Kai will take a seat at the most hardware of stations.
There's a station that is explicitly like a machine tooling device that is used to manufacture and print circuit boards. It also has what appears to be like a laser soldering tool, which it works in the same way that like a ballpoint pen works. You click it and it will just solder two joints together in this most perfect wrapped solder thing. And you get this is the type of tool where it's like, oh, that's why he sucks at soldering, because it does it for him. It's damn near automated.
So cool.
But you sit there and Ben Getty grabs one of the seats. You notice all the seats are the exact same. They're all like the little black rolling chairs with no back to them. And Ben Getty perches on one like a fucking bird and wheels over and just goes, "So what'd you learn about the what is it called again?"
Dreamer.
No, like its name, its designation, as the quotation marks. I think we called it Observer.
Yeah, that's what we called it. Yeah, the Observer. So, it has a friend. There's another one. The one that, whether they know it or not, Tatsuo has.
Wait. Like, Tetsuya has it in what way? Like, it belongs to them, or it's just, like, imprisoned by them, or what?
Not
I think more
totally
like
clear.
I think what we learned is like it's like what, like a secret roommate.
Yeah. So, Maxine found it in their research lab while taking a tour. And she doesn't think that they know it's there, but it's there. But it's very different from the Observer.
Who the fuck is Maxine?
The dreamer expert that we went to go talk to.
Pretty cool.
Ben Getty, his eyes flash to Kaya for a second, but he doesn't say anything. Go on. And he kicks his feet off, and you hear this as he wheels over to just a blank black section of walling, like a black tile that is about the size of a computer monitor, turned vertically, where it's like this wide monitor, but it's actually turned so that it's tall. Presses on it, and then the door slides open, and you can see it is wrapped with Red Bull cans.
So,
And he takes one for himself and wheels back.
I guess he's probably fucking with some machine and not really paying attention as she's talking.
Fair.
And this other one is, what was it, Builder? Is that what it was? It's been a minute. Did we have a name for this one?
I don't know if you had a name for it.
No, I think
One
it
was
always
not
referred to
given.
Yeah, it was always referred to as her one.
Yeah, this one did not have a name designated to it.
I was just, like, in my head for some reason I was calling it Builder.
I mean, can that be the name? You could give it the name.
Good.
Yeah, message Maxine, be like, "Hey, I thought of a name for it, Builder. What do you think?"
But she'll like, so the one that she found, it fucked with her brain like it fucked with ours, and it made it to where she started building random shit, and it doesn't seem, or at least the way she talked about it, doesn't seem nearly as aggressive as the fucking Observer is, but she also has pictures of what she thinks they look like, and every time I looked at it, my brain felt like it was on fire, so that's fun.
Getty's eyebrows go up, and he's like, "Wow, are you, like, on drugs?"
Legacy slowly turns her head towards him. You passed out just like I did when you looked at the fucking code. So I imagine it'll turn your brain to fire too. Apparently, when you look at the code or have it implanted in your brain or some shit, it just hurts. It knocked her out for a couple weeks.
Holy shit, a couple weeks?
Yeah.
What, were you out for like a few minutes?
Well, it like got implanted in her brain. And she, like, Legacy, like, glances towards Kaya of, like, was that what I heard?
Kaya like nods, like pretty much. No, not literally, but like something like that on like the digital sense.
It would be the equivalent of, like handshaking someone mentally.
Hmm.
So it knocked her out, but then it made her. I think it makes her brain work a little bit differently. I mean, I guess kind of like we can read the shit now, but it's a little bit more for her.
Rate it. Like, what does it say?
I mean, didn't Ben Getty like write some like weird ass code after he saw it that he gave to Legacy and Legacy was able to read it? Not that
I had-
It was.
I actually have that in my pocket, technically.
It was yes. It was like a sample, but he's talking about like what she's referring to specifically what she saw. Like she could read it, and he's like, read what? Like just its source code or something.
Well, I mean, like she can see what they look like, the images that make my brain light on fire. Like she can actually look at it.
Did you like take a picture? Can I see?
I don't remember. Did we get that shit from her?
If you want to have had it, you could. Well, you could just message her. She gave you her phone number.
Yeah, I guess Legacy will shoot her a message asking if she can have a copy of the shit that she has.
Hmm.
There's a brief pause, and then she sends you a picture that is encrypted, and then she sends Kaya a key.
Huh. Smart. Toss his
And
phone
then-
to Legacy.
Yeah, and then she sends like a bunch of emojis of cake.
Legacy will just send you a simple thank you back, and will input the key, but in the moment it takes for the image to like essentially fully render, she looks away and just like holographically like shows it so that Bengetti can see.
You should probably warn him. That
No,
might hurt.
no, she's talking about Legacy being on drugs. She's gonna let it happen.
The second before you fucking show, just like, wait up to it.
So you show it to Ben Getty. There's a pause, and Ben Getty's looking at it, and just tilts his head. I don't get it.
Huh.
Kaya, you can see it's the pink image.
Ah, that's probably why.
So that's what they look like? I mean, that's like them? I don't know how to conceptualize this.
Well, like, that's a pink one.
Did she send another file with the other
Yes,
one?
there's a brief pause, and then there's another file that gets sent, and she sends an oops.
So she will, again, do the same thing with the other one.
Alright, Kai's gonna take the time while she's doing this to warn him that, alright, this might hurt.
The image comes up, and Lockhart, you can see this too. It is this blue, almost tribal tattoo like geometric pattern. You can loosely see how it could be considered a face, vaguely a face, but it's still kind of just a bunch of weird geometric lines. Ben Getty looks at it, and it like you could see his body like tense up, like he just got hit with a taser. And
Lockhart moves next to him.
oh no, he left.
Mandy
Oh,
is
switching
is
to
going to go watch on Twitch. So
Oh, I see.
Mhm.
So you see the you see that image. You see Ben Getty lock up, and his eye, his normal eye, or rather his flesh eye twitches, and then he shuts
Mhm.
just that one, and he starts to immediately relax. And after a second, the mechanical eye shuts as well, almost like it was delayed. He just goes, "Okay, I see what you meant. See what you meant about. I see what you meant about Brian being on fire."
And Legacy will close down the hologram.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm good. I think. Christ, what the fuck is it? It's just lines, right?
And it apparently only has to do with because the blue one is the observer, apparently. The pink one is hers. Vaccines. So it only affects us with the one that we've seen the code for, I guess.
So, is she affected by the pink one the same way we're affected by the blue one?
She has some like cybernetics that she uses to look at it. That it sounded incredibly invasive, even by cybernetic standards.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. You see him start to get this puzzled look on his face. Okay. Where did you say she lived?
I did not.
Where does she live?
Why?
Well, I want to go see her. She clearly is, like, I don't know, some kind of a scientist.
Oh god,
And she
Maxine
knows
and
about this.
Bengetti. That sounds like the
Oh.
worst idea. This is like
Well,
above
no.
table. It's not. That's not
Yeah.
legacy.
He's
Just-
like, she also has an implant that seemingly she created, which is impressive.
That
Fucking
Listen.
crazy setup.
she is fucking awesome.
He gets a look like roll me a cool check.
Aw, he jealous.
It's just to see if Kaya can understand. Like he's like, you like her more than me?
9.
You get a distinct impression of like not anger, but like what?
What exactly does Kaya get off from him?
It's this sort of defeated like, what do you mean? It's that sort of wounded like puppy energy.
I thought I
Hidden
was your
behind the
scientist.
the indignant, like compressed brow of Ben Getty, where he looks mad, but you know he's less mad and more saddy, hurt a little bit.
Aw. Aw.
You're
Right.
seeing other scientists.
Ah, fuck. Like, what did she just say? Oh, yeah. She complimented Maxine. Bengetti got sad. I mean, oh, what do you think, Legs?
Well, I mean, the reason she's able to do this is, I guess, from what I gathered from her, she was you for Ogre Mock, like you were for Tetsuo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she was the lead. Okay, well, so she was basically the lead of their R&D for cybernetics.
Something along those lines, yeah.
Oh, so she worked military shit. I really want to meet this woman.
I mean, I'm sure she'd want to meet you, too. She seemed pretty cool.
Doesn't you see him open his mouth to say something and then close it?
Oh, what was up?
No, just Go on. Is there more? There's probably more. Right, there's more.
I forget.
She's the lead of R&D. She fucking mind melded with a bat, and he like points. He like waves a hand vaguely towards Legacy's arm phone, and he just goes, "So, what? Like,
She mind melded, yeah, and when she woke up from the coma that put her in, she started building a whole bunch of shit, including octolegs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what's really
Octolegs?
fucking cool. Lingetti, I gotta fucking. Those are so fucking cool. It looks like she repurposed some of the Okamok tech. I don't know how she did it, but instead of going vertical, it looks like it's going horizontal. And, well, here, let me get a piece of paper. I can give you a rough, like, what, guesstimate, sketch, schematic of how I think it might work, if you want.
He nods. I was just like, "Yeah, I want to see."
Yeah, it's fucking impressive. And Kai's gonna take out a piece of paper, and she's gonna just do a rough guesstimate of what it looks like and how it moves, and
And
what she has observed.
as they're nerding out about that, Legacy will try to catch Lockhart's eye and just make this like face of like kind of mild concern. Just like
Raises an eyebrow.
and she like points at Vingetti and then gestures vaguely in a direction she thinks is the fucking ward that Maxine is in. And
Same
she's like
word, but yeah.
just like grimaces.
Yeah. So he and Maxine live in the same ward. They both live in Omal ward.
Yeah, just grimace.
Lockhart gives a stern look and it's like, She'll walk over to Legacy. Are you sitting in a chair or something?
Yeah, she's probably found a stool by whatever machine she was decide she wanted to like fuck around with.
So I actually have a question. The art or whatever doesn't affect Kai and Lockhart, right?
No. Doesn't bother you at all.
Okay. Lockhart will move over to Legacy, and I assume we're a little bit separated from the others, and be like, is there anything else, anything in particular you want to share with me that I should be concerned about?
You want two of him? As he meets her, you get two of them.
So there'd be 3 total then.
Legacy pauses and then looks at Lockhart. I am not as bad, and you know it.
From what I know, you have your moments.
Moments. That's the key part of that. Thank you. But depending on how much he controls himself, if he goes over there, he may knock himself out.
She has something that she uses to read it without injuring herself, correct?
A brain cybernetic. Do you want him to go through brain surgery right now?
He already has brain problems.
Exactly.
Do you think the meeting would be worth it?
Maybe? I mean, he probably knows some shit that would be more useful in talking to her. But I fear for all of our safety. She's really nice. She's much nicer than him, but same. Me, but worse. Me, but closer to him.
Let me look at my questions real quick.
Meanwhile, the engineers are nerding out.
Oh yeah, full on.
So, like, you and Vengetti are trading techno babble, just like, these are like hydraulic compressors that somehow both expand and contract, like, at the same time to create movement. So it's like the
Yeah.
whole leg is like one big muscle.
Exactly,
It's
but here's the
wild.
thing: I didn't see an air compressor or an air tank, so it's not exactly hydraulics. It's something mechanical or electronic that I can't figure out.
Oh shit.
Exactly.
Where does she live? I want to go see her.
Well, we gotta talk about that, but
Well,
I
why?
mean, she's pretty nice. You know, she
Well,
actually what?
yeah.
Yeah, she's actually really cool. You know, she made us
Why
what?
would we have to talk about it?
You mentioned she worked for Ogamok.
Well, so
Yep.
does she steal?
I was talking to Legacy.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Legacy's just
Two
like,
separate conversations.
Legacy's just like, uh-huh. Well, used to. I don't think so anymore. I think they fired her when she went into a coma.
Well, I'm concerned about their meeting, but I'm concerned about a lot of things, so. Can you set it up, I guess?
Legacy gives like one good hard look at Lockhart, and then like leans around her to look at Vengetti and Kaya. I can. Okay.
She's the expert on this stuff, so. It's best to lead right now.
And Legacy will just shoot Maxine a text. Like, we have. There's somebody else who's seen the code for our friends a lot like I have, and he would like to meet you if you don't mind.
there's a pause, and then she replies with, well, maybe not today, if that's all right. I am kind of peopled out, and I want to just be with my friends here.
Sure, you want me to give him your number so he can talk to you and find a good time?
No. Like other people having my number.
Okay. So
Sorry, strangers.
Understandable. And like, just looked at Lockhart. She is willing, but not right now. She'll probably tell me when she wants to see somebody again.
Yeah. I mean, we have stuff to do here anyways, correct?
Mm-hmm. I don't know, is there something else we needed to tell Spaghetti about from this in particular?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Oh, other than like the difference in, like, we could figure out what that one wanted, but it was like hive mindy, wasn't it? Or something? There was a difference in the way it was like processing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember how Maxine precisely worded it, and I don't want to give away too much. But the gist of it is like, it thinks in, okay, you know those stereotypical fantasy tropes of the person who sees the future and then they have to shake their head to like make sure that they're talking in the present still.
Mm-hmm.
It's something akin to that, where it is multiple things at once, but it has to reassess where it is. It's multiple versions of itself.
Mm. Shoelaces.
Oh no. Kaya can try to explain that shit if she wants to, while she's nerding out with Minghetti.
Oh, she can try. Yeah, I can give it a shot. Okay, so I guess Kaya finished her rough estimate schematic of what it looks like and how it moves, right?
The octopus thing? Yeah.
Yeah. So put that down. Sorry.
Mhm.
See the message. Okay. She's gonna just be like, oh fuck. What? Is there anything we're missing talking about? Like, do we tell him how she translated the patterns?
Yeah, the cyberware, right?
What? Like the pink and the blue pictures, the patterns. Maxine tried to translate them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, more the same for the blue one. You guys already know that what she said. It looks hungry, but the pink one was what? I think she called it like what? A long shoelace cut up and then bundled up together. Same bunch of different, but it's like the same shit over and over again. It's like the what? Like a big mess. I mean, that's what she called it.
It's weird. She couldn't figure out what this one wanted. It's just that it was
No.
thinking differently.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of why she
Mhm.
said that she was able to figure out the fucking legs had multiple brains to make them work.
Yep.
Multiple by the same.
Mm-hmm.
Are you good with AI at all? And he like looks at Kaya.
Gestures to Larry.
Is that a yes?
It's maybe, depending. I can do basic shit. I'll be honest. I don't know how I did that, but
Okay.
I could try, give it a shot. You know.
Okay. So I have a question. And
What's up?
you can feel free to tell me no. I just
Oh
want you to know
fuck.
this is not. I don't want you to be upset.
All
But
right.
he's holding up his hands in this sort of protective posture, and he looks at Larry and looks at Kaya, and he just goes, "Is there any chance you're willing to let me mess around with that source code?" And he points to Larry. Larry like looks left and right, and then looks all the way behind him, and like looks up.
Define messing around with this source code. Like, what the fuck do you want with it?
Well, I want, ideally, to create a digital copy of its source code and make what
His source
myself.
code?
Oh yes,
You said it.
like. Oh, sorry. Right. Make a copy of his source code and
Thank you.
put that on one of my servers here, and he like gestures to the lab, of which you can see from where you're sitting like 5 or 6 different isolated servers, and he just goes, I want to see if I can replicate this, and he does quotation marks, many but all the same, like a bunch of disparate entities that are all one. I want to see if I can replicate that with like a thing.
This guy just She's like leans back in her seat, like scratches her head. Like, look, Magetti, I trust you and all, right? You know, you're a brilliant scientist and all that. But I don't remember how I upgraded Larry's AI. And if anything happened, I don't know if I could get him back.
So then no.
Uh, all right. Well, we should probably ask.
What if I could copy it without like having to like root around in his head?
Well, I. As long as you can, like, I don't know, promise to do your best not to hurt him, I guess it's all right. But I don't know. Maybe ask him.
Larry is floating there, and he's like, he puts his hands up. You know the gesture of putting your hands on your hips? He's doing that, but
Mhm.
he's putting his hands on his head. Just reaches up, puts both hands on the side of his head, and then looks confused. You can see him sort of blink at you both. I
Hey,
feel
bud.
weird asking him, is it bad? Because I don't know if he'll understand.
I think he can understand basic shit, you know?
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Kai's gonna turn to Larry. Would you be alright with him poking around in the hardware and software?
Just to make you feel better, I'm not going to poke around in your head and do anything to you. I'm going to create a copy of you and then mess around with that copy. So it's fine. Because you'll be safe.
Right?
Larry like blinks and then turns to Kaya and then turns back to Ben Getty and just goes, and shrugs. You get the impression that he doesn't fully understand the conversation happening.
Yeah. Alright. You don't fully understand. That's alright. I just feel bad if anything happened to him, you know?
Well,
But I
I'm not
guess
going to
it's.
let anything happen to him. I will. Okay, just let me pose this idea to you. Okay, rather than me rooting around in his head with actual equipment like connections, I could. And his eyes look up, and he starts to look around for an answer. And he just goes, I could maybe engineer a way to harvest bits of transmission. No, that wouldn't work. Never mind. No, I probably need to plug something in,
Alright.
but I don't think the process of lifting and copying will affect him in any way.
Alright. Okay, you know what? He doesn't understand. Alright. She's gonna look at Bengetti and I don't know, does he seem like he's like, I don't know, no nefarious intent to Larry, right?
Roll me a cool check.
You know, the past 2 sessions, Kaya's only rolled cool checks. Her dumb stat. Oof.
No.
So you've known Bengetti not for a crazy long time, but he's never really seemed nefarious to you. So in this moment he doesn't seem nefarious. He seems very excited and curious, and whatever that means to you, but there's no intent for him to there's no very obvious intent for him to use this as a way to damage Larry or irreparably screw up Larry's consciousness.
Okay. Kaya's gonna just like, I don't know, put her like head in her hands and like wipe her like face before she'll stand up. Like, alright, look. I'll let you do this on one condition. we're doing this together, because I'm not letting you fuck around my drone without me there helping you.
Like, copy him together and then I'm good? Or, like, you want to be there for the whole experimentation process?
Hmm.
Because, like, once I copy him, I can just... And he's back to being an independent
Yeah, I
man.
know. Making sure the process of copying him goes smoothly, but I mean, I'm kind of curious what you can do with it if you let me, I don't know, sit in and help you on the process of all that shit.
I could. Yeah, I think that's fine.
All right, she'll stick out her hand.
He
Yo,
looks at your hand and just goes, okay. Well, and he shakes. It's an awkward gesture, but it's fine.
He's having flashbacks to what happened last time he shook her hand.
oh shit, I
Yeah,
forgot about
that's-
that.
Yeah, that's sort of the implication is he's like, last time this didn't go so well, but this time we'll be in a laboratory, which is safe. Motorcycles
I mean-
aren't safe.
It's just a working relationship, right?
Yeah, it's just for a working relationship.
Okay, well, if you're okay with it, we could start the process tonight and then get it over with so it's done. And then Larry's all free to go. No strings attached. So, like,
Alright.
Or it'd be wires. No wires
Yeah,
attached to it.
there'd be wires attached to him, like at least what, 2? Probably.
Well, yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. We'll figure it out. Actually, fuck, it might have to be 3. I think I've had to replace one of his fucking ports. I've been fucking putting it off. We'll figure it out.
Like,
I'm sure you've got like what?
It's fine.
It's fine. You know, we'll figure it out.
He looks over at Larry, and Larry is like, Larry has pulled his hands under, like, to his chest, and is just like barrel rolling very, very lightly, just up and down, and then spinning.
You having fun, bud?
He gives you a smile and just goes, ah.
Alright, let's just fucking do this before I start second guessing myself.
Okay. And he gets up and looks at Larry and walks over, and Larry, like, stops and gets really tense for a second, and he just goes, oh, I'm not gonna hurt you. And he looks at Kai, he's like, tell him I'm not gonna hurt him.
She'll walk up next to Larry as well. Be like, alright, bud, we're just gonna do some maintenance on you. We're gonna do some stuff, alright? It's all good. I'm here. Nothing's gonna happen, alright?
He looks at you and then nods, but it's not the typical enthusiastic, like, happy nod. It's just like an okay. And he's putting his faith in you in the same way that you see a dog's face when you hand them off to the vet. And they're just like, I don't know about this, but okay.
Pinketti, if anything fucking happens.
Nothing's gonna happen. He's fine. I promise. It's like, as soon as the coping process is done, which will likely take maybe like 8 hours at most, it will. He's scot-free. Start it tonight.
Alright. Well,
Finish
last
it
time you
in the
said
morning.
everything was gonna be fine. A lot of shit happened, and I'm down a bike.
Okay, well, last time there was a motorcycle involved, and I don't like motorcycles. I like robots.
Well, both of them are fucking cool. You know what? Let's just fucking do this before I fucking
Well,
say
look,
no.
you can like motorcycles. I don't give a shit, but I don't like motorcycles. They are very dangerous.
They're not dangerous.
He looks at you like, oh? Hmm?
No, they're not.
He points to his eye.
That had shit to do with your shit and the dream of bullshit, honestly. Like, I've never fucking crashed. And I've, been driving a motorcycle for fucking 15 years now?
You see the typical Ben Getty, like, rears up, gets ready to start an argument, and he just... I think I need another drink, and then we should start the copying process. And he goes over to his Red Bull fridge.
He is trying
Alright.
so hard.
She'll fucking pat him on the back. Alright, sounds good. So
Okay.
that legacy.
So I'll
unlock
say-
card.
If there's anything else you want to do, the expectation from Ben Getty is that you're going to sleep over here so that you will be with Larry the whole time.
Wasn't the plan, but Kaya's not gonna leave him there. She's gonna stay in the fucking waiting room at the vet all night. I don't know. Does Legacy want to go home?
But
Yeah, Legacy's fucking off. Legacy's not staying here.
Yeah. Yeah. Kaya will help Lockhart do dishes then.
okay.
Legacy
Then
is either going home and doing some hacking shit, or she'll like maybe like see Marcus wants like dinner or some shit before she goes home. That's it. She's not
So
staying at
I
Ben Getty's.
That is totally okay with him. He hates having too many guests over. But I say give me a 5-minute break. We'll take 5 minutes for a bathroom and snacks and water and shitting, and then we'll be back, and I will pick up with party time in the neon front. The Panyanko. Oh wait, I don't like that.
Aw. Look at the picture of my mom's fur baby. He's so cute.
Aww.
Fur baby.
So cute. Oh, the ear is sticking up.
What's funny is like that the larger gray ring is the bed that they have bought that dog to sit in the living room. The smaller gray thing underneath the dog is a tiny ass little gray like fluff essentially that was bought for our beagles when we had them. Remember, beagles like 25-30 pound dogs maybe. That's the big end. This is already a 50-60 pound dog. She refuses to lay on anything unless the beagle's size bed is on top of it.
Aw.
She literally picks it up and carries it through the house to whatever she wants to lay down on.
Oh,
She has a
baby.
preference.
Exactly. You know, it makes sense for her to have standards.
Because we have like a box essentially of all the shit that is still good from our old dogs, and you know, in case we need it. And apparently they were going through that box right after they got her and like putting like shifting things around, finding what they needed. And my grandmother just like set that bed down on a chair so that she could grab things underneath it and take them into another room. And when she turned around, Hazel had that bed in her mouth and was just carrying it with her. She made the decision that that was hers.
Hey! Hey! Can
Are you
hear me?
hanging at us?
Yes.
What?
Roll a d4.
All of us or one of us?
One of you.
I thought he was hanging at the cat. I thought the cat had fucked up again.
3.
3. Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Why? I'd like to know why, please. I'd like to ask why.
I was selecting a drink.
Okay. Whew. Anxiety. Heart rate has just slowed down.
Everything I do is sinister.
That
Hey.
statement has far less like punctuation than I think you want it to have, because you sound like you are so far away.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually like probably 10 or 12 feet away in the kitchen. Which is funny because I sound so far away, but the other time with my other mic that I have, I can yell from across the apartment and y'all can hear me basically crystal clear.
Yeah,
Which
like
is fucking wild.
that was honestly giving me like when your parents are trying to talk to you from the other room, but they only like raise their voice just a little bit. That type of faintness.
Yeah, it's like you can kind of hear him, but fuck, you gotta get up and go to them, don't you? And you go over there and they're like, hey, what are you doing? Well, fucking nothing now.
So, Joe, how helpful were we earlier?
How helpful. What?
What's your question? How helpful were we?
None,
Good.
none helpful left beef.
I put a pizza slice emoji.
I don't know what that means.
A slice of
That sounds
life.
like a you problem.
But...
I'll put it back.
Okay. No, I understand.
I clicked off of it. I'll put it back.
You forget that yes, we are on the younger side of the millennial, but we do not fully speak the language of emoji like
I don't
you Gen
either.
Zs
We're
do.
not baby like Amy.
Fuck you. That was just word association. Ah, slice of life? Okay. Slice. Pizza slice. Sure.
No, none of us would have figured that out, Amy.
I don't know. It wasn't.
You
I just
damn
thought I'd be
kids and
funny.
your baggy
My baggy what?
pants
You
and your
baggy ass. Your ass full of bags.
sagging down to your ankles. What the fuck, man?
Baggy and saggy and swaggy. Okay. So we will pick up with Neon. You have to drive to go get Kaneko
Mm-hmm.
in your fucking land tank. Um you drive back to your coffee shop because she is taking over,
Yes.
or she was watching it while you were gone. Okay. So you go and pick her up. And you don't know of any like parties or anything that's happening now, but you know that there's a university. Let me see which ward it's in. There is a university here, though.
College party, you say?
Yeah, I was
Oh.
like, that's probably where you would go.
Oh god.
Easy money is what she hears.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I hear lots of money.
Okay, well, I can't seem to find where the actual university is. That's fine. Uh, I will say that there is a university. Um, hmm, not Sishin. Here. So there's two different universities. There's
Okay.
the Foundation University, and there
Okay.
is the Voyager Institute of Technology. Contrary to
VIT.
popular understanding, I'll put you on the map for a second. Contrary
Okay.
to what you might think, the the Foundation University is not in Foundation Ward. It is in Amal Ward, adjacent to it.
Okay. Well,
And let me
Kana,
get
your choice.
and the Voyager University is in Voyager Ward or Voyager Institute of Technology.
Okay.
Hoot toot tech. Uh, you've been there's a pretty like well memed about rumor that Foundation Ward is party school. Voyager Tech is the they don't have as many parties, but the ones they do have are fucking uncontrollable. It is the most raw, like insane, out of control party shit ever. Foundation Ward is like, yeah, every time there's a sports game, there's a fucking rager.
Okay. Well, it sounds like VIT is the place to go then. Rare
So
and
you
uncontrollable. Hell yeah.
Kanako nods her head and just goes, okay, I'm down with some Voyager dorks. Well, I suppose it'd probably be some jocks. It's a bit of a tech frat.
It could be either or, honestly.
Both schools are much more hoity-toity than ones that get back on Earth.
Well, that's just
Uh,
what they get for being in space.
okay, so
Check
you
this
go.
out. I got a new ID. Neon says, pointing at her new fake ID.
He Kanako raises an eyebrow and just goes, "Don't you already have one?"
I have like 3.
Oh, why do you have so many?
Well, easier to get into places. Like, for example, this one is of a rich girl. So, draw more attention. Draw more
You don't
attention at
need to be
places.
rich to get into a party when you
And,
look like us.
well, in like high society, they care if that you're, well, status, right?
High society, maybe, but this is again a
Well,
frat
I'm
boy
just
party.
saying that I bought it. Jesus. I'm trying to do girl talk
Well,
with you
it's
for a long
fine.
time, and then all of a sudden,
You think talking about fake IDs is girl talk?
she pauses. Some people like new dresses. She shrugs.
She gets like an actual chuckle out. You get an actual laugh out of her because she thinks that is like it's like a weirdly specific, endearing quirk of yours is that you're like, oh yeah, new fake ID. I'm so excited, and she's like, what? um, but she starts running around on her phone trying to hit up some rumors about what kind of ragers may or may not be going on. And let me see. Uh, you can roll a D100 or I can. 11. Okay. So, because you rolled really well in a Cthulhu sense, because that's how I roll everything for D100s, I will let you choose.
Mm-hmm.
This can be you can choose the magnitude of this party. It can be like on a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 is, you know, probably 30 people, a mix of different groups of friends who kind of know each other and some who kind of don't. 5 being a fucking thrasher, like an insane 500 to 1,000 person group who have taken over a house, mansion, or block area and have turned it into like a party night.
5, absolutely.
Yeah. So okay, 5. All
Absolutely.
right, we're going hard into the party night. Let
Easier
me
to slip
go
in and out
with
of crowds.
before this plays. This is not royalty free. I want this. Oh wait, no, there's one called clubbing. That's not white hat. White bat. Fuck off. This is fine. All right. So, after a few seconds of flipping around on her phone, you get the impression that Kaneko is just about to give up, and then she goes, "Ooh, ooh, 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 ooh! I found
Looks
one."
over her shoulder.
And you see on some of the Instagram posts and Twitter posts, she's flipping through her phone with a scary degree of accuracy and speed, or precision and speed. And as she is going through, she is showing you pictures of like it looks like the sort of pictures you see on crime dramas where it's like this was the last night that these people were seen together, because this is the setup. This is what is exactly what it is. This is a place where you could get fucking lost. It is a huge party, end of semester like rager, where everyone is getting absolutely fucking wasted and blitzed out of their mind on every possible substance they could get their hands onto. And this is sponsored by the higher end fraternity, where they do have ties to some of the more. It's like the fraternity where all of their dads are lawyers, but instead of being lawyers, they're legal consultants for tech companies. So they're tech giant legal defense teams. And the frat is called Gamma Omega
Okay.
for the notes.
Thank you.
But Kaneko shows you some of the pictures and videos she sees, and just goes, "This is a place to get fucked up, or to take advantage of people who got fucked up."
Oh,
Or both.
absolutely. Rich frat boys? Hell yeah, we're gonna take them for everything they're worth.
Fuck yes. And you floor it to Voyager Station or Voyager Ward. Once you get there, you can see once you start getting closer and closer to the area, there is there's a small section that is, I hesitate to say residential, but it is a living space. It is a very small section that is not commercialized, and it is explicitly very, very rich, very, very roomy housing. And there is an area in that area, there is a house that looks like this neo-modern glass mansion type vibe, where it's got black and silver and chrome decor with walls, and like patio areas that are lined with very expensive either um, frosted glass, or the it is a very like eclectic type of glass that has this hyper reflective sheen to it. So you can see through it, but only barely and in the right light. The most of it is just caked in the reflections of neon lighting from other parts of the station. Because any small amount of light is instantly just shot back off of this glass wall. This building is, to give you an idea, it is probably 3 townhouses wide and just as tall compared to the areas that like Ben Getty lives. It is like from Ben Getty's house to the top of the building and then just triple it. It is a big structure considering how you've seen other houses. As you start getting closer and closer, Kaneko bumps you on the elbow and just goes, "Hey, park maybe a little bit down the street. I
She
don't
nods.
know if they have security, but these rich boys might have security."
Way ahead of you. Be sure to put a wig on or something.
"Oh, no problem." And she blinks her eyes, like flutters her lashes at you, and you can see the pink and brown halves of her hair shift and turn into an ice white. And
You have to teach me how to
her
do that
eyes,
sometime.
it's an implant. You can get one if you like.
I
And
think I'm
her
going to do
eyes,
that.
as she flutters her eyes, and they turn into an icy blue. And she takes her hair and takes it out of the typical like twin ponytails and moves it to a side ponytail.
Well, I don't have anything fancy like that yet, but I'm gonna put on like a black wig. Black wig and mess with my makeup a little bit.
I don't think anyone will really I don't think anyone will really recognize this, but you're right to be better safe than sorry.
If they have security, that means they have cameras. And if something goes down, I don't
Ooh.
want to be on any of these videos.
That's a good point. She starts trying to adjust her outfit and change her dress a little bit. And you pull in, park somewhere down the street. There's plenty of areas to park, surprisingly, because it is late and not many people are expected to be at a fucking insane rager on what is basically a weeknight. But when you park, you can see that there are other groups of people, like small pods of people, like anywhere from 3 to 6 or 7 groups walking towards the party and some walking away. Those walking towards the party they're not well dressed, but they're standing upright and trying to look more like imposing and sexy and like trying to get the spotlight on them. They have this vibe of trying to show off. And then people walking out and away from the party are being carried by some of their friends. And most of them are like their shirt and their trousers and their shoes. You see one dude with only one shoe on. You see another girl who is being like carried over the shoulder of one seemingly broadly built, tall Archie Comics looking jock dude, and he looks like super tired. And he's basically just carrying her like a sack of potatoes, with another girl close behind following him. And it's that type of vibe where like you go in and you try to impress everyone, and then you leave and you are just a fucking mess. This
Better
party
work
has
out
been
for
going
us.
on for. She looks and nods her head approvingly at the people who are leaving the party in a state, and she looks to you and just goes, "I'm pretty excited." Do you
Are
think
we doing
ice
this
whites
together? Or are we flying solo?
do- I don't know. Let's fly solo at first, and then if it starts to seem not as profitable or kind of dicey, we can reconvene. Give it
Sounds good.
30 minutes. 30 minutes of flying around in the party. But
Sounds good.
she looks in the mirror and just goes, "Do you think Ice White is just too gauche? I feel like I look like a princess."
What is she wearing?
She is wearing a black with like silver like martini dress
Okay.
with lace, like not laced up shoes, but like heels that have ribbon ties that go up to her knee.
Make it like a shade darker and you're good.
She doesn't look at you, but she nods, and then you see her concentrating for a second, and then the hair like tints slightly darker, and then slightly lighter, and then darker and darker, and then
Perfect.
lighter and darker.
You're good. You're good.
And then lighter.
Right there.
Okay, good. And you didn't park too far away, but you did park far away enough that I need you to roll 1d100. Because what else would it be if I didn't make you roll a d100?
10.
10. You're really fucking pretty good. Let's see. Okay. Da-na-na-na. Ooh. Okay. Now roll me 1d4 plus 1.
5.
Now roll me one more die. Roll me a d10. You do not want to roll a 10.
5.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So you start to walk up. And lo and behold, you don't have to wait long. You can see as you're approaching a handful of dudes who they are dressed like college students. They have that sort of like lax attire, but they are distinctly more businesslike and abrasive looking in their demeanor. They're standing cross-armed, not leaning up against the wall, just upright, straight, legs or feet at like shoulder width apart. This looks like a handful of guards. You can easily see two of them.
Ooh. They did bring security.
Ugh. Pussies. What are they afraid of? It's not like anyone cares about them.
About them, no, but the place.
Good point.
Makes me want to figure out what's going on.
I actually think this place belongs to some lawyer type. One of the tech dudes. Let me see if I can figure out where it is. Also, what do we do about them? Do we just sneak by, or...
Are they screening people?
You can see them, they have their heads on a swivel. They're watching people walk by. And you don't know if they're screening them because they have cybernetic eyes, or if they're screening them just by giving them like a suspicious hard glare.
Well, I've got my fake ID. I think if we just rock the party dress, we'll be good.
Okay. So, go ahead and roll me. Cool. I'm gonna roll for Konako.
For what bonuses as well? Like what applies here?
Anything that would be helpful for disguise or like maintaining a disguise, deceiving people,
So stealth or
charming
manipulation.
people. Yeah, either one of those would work.
Okay. I have my kimono as well. My Arctic kimono.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives me a +2 because I have +1 in it.
You have one for specialization in it.
Yeah, and it gives
Nice.
+1 outside of that, so it's +2, right?
Yes, so
I'm
it gives
understanding.
+1, and then you have one specialization, which gives it an additional one.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. So you are like stunning and totally innocuous. There is nothing about you that stands out compared to any of the other people that are walking up and down the street. So much so that as you walk by the two guards. Oh, you're not supposed to see that. Fuck. The two guards who are standing there, they don't. They look at you. You can definitely see them giving you a once over, but it's less of a stay in line once over and more of a ogling, uncomfortable once over. These dudes are the typical broad, square-chinned, like lump henchman type characters you see that get beat up by Batman in every fucking episode of Batman the Animated Series.
Okay.
Yeah, but they watch you walk by, you and Konako, but they don't say anything. They don't seem to do anything. But as you're walking forward, you see ahead a a dude of similar stature and kind of vibe. This guy has a very close cut, shaved blonde haircut, and a clean shaven face, and he is wearing a green sweater type thing with a collared shirt underneath and khakis with nice fancy Dockers shoes. And as he walks up, he goes straight to you, Neon, and he gets way too close, way too quickly, and just goes, "Hey, fancy seeing you here." And he starts to like get into your personal space.
Okay. Does he look like he has money?
Do you have roll
Oh,
roll
she's here for today.
clever?
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, roll clever, and you can add if you have any like social deduction to it.
Don't have
Manipulation
social
wouldn't
deduction.
apply.
Yeah, I don't have social deduction. Okay, so it's just flat clever. This can go well. Yep, that's about right.
He looks he's wearing that same dorky college attire that the other dudes were wearing. He also has that same broad build, so you get the impression that he's probably also security. It's very apparent to you, roll not necessary, this dude is definitely drunk. And whether or not he has money on him, you can't say. He may have money on him, he may not. But one thing he definitely has is a vested interest in you and an entitlement to talk to you right now.
And he's security?
You're guessing he's security. He looks like the security guys, has that same kind of vibe. There's no like
Okay.
badge of any kind.
Okay. Oh, well, hello there. It's nice to see you too.
You can smell cheap, shitty liquor on his breath. And he scratches his chin, little bits of dandruff flake off. It's gross. And he just goes, "So, what are you couple of girls like you going to a party like that for?"
Well, same reason any girl
Hanako,
goes to a party.
he gets a really like devilish grin on his face, and he just goes, "Oh yeah, what do girls like you go to parties like that for?"
Well, if you have to ask.
He tilts his head in this coy way and just goes, "If I have to ask, I can't afford it."
She doesn't say anything, just gives a slight smile, looking at Kanako.
Hanako is very, like, not just stonewall, like the type of too cute reaction. She
Mhm.
looks unimpressed. She's just like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's one of these guys." Okay.
Mhm.
And she
She
just can't
nods.
hide her flat disappointment. It's like, this is so this is a dime a dozen. Um, but this dude, he he will like he steps in front of your path now so that he's blocking the way, and he puts one hand on in his pocket and kind of saunters a little bit closer to you, and he's now like he's a pretty tall person. He's about the same height, if not a little bit taller than Marcus, and he bends over so that his face is closer to yours, and you can see his eyes kind of glass over. He doesn't say anything for a second. He just looks at you in this really unsettling way and then chuckles and just goes, "Why don't you and your friend here, why don't we just skip the party and get to the part that you came for?" You
It
don't
starts to
need
sound like the Joker all of a sudden.
he's very like he's got a very bad drunk slur to his words. Come on. You don't have to go to this fucking dipshit fest. They're just college kids.
Tell you what, if you can drink this whole bottle in one gulp, I'll go with you. And she pulls out a bottle of wine. Gulp it down.
A bottle of wine? Okay. Roll me you I will say roll me a manipulation roll.
Okay.
He looks at the bottle and he looks at you and he just goes, he slowly turns. His mouth is hanging open a little bit, and he slowly gets a grin on his face, and he just goes, "Free booze?
Drink up.
Well, I don't suppose I could say no to that." And he takes it and rips the cork off of it, or the screw top off of it, because if there was a cork, he couldn't open it. And he is going to take a couple of real good swigs of it.
Yeah, while he's
And
drinking, bottoms upping it, I'm going to attempt to pickpocket him.
okay, quick, unless you have something else that would work.
I can roll cool for interacting with people with stealthy shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So he is very concentrated on this wine thing. You quickly reach a hand into a pocket. You find a wallet and a phone, and nothing else.
I will take the wallet.
Okay.
And then in that
Swipe
same
the wallet.
motion, I disappear into the crowd.
Well, there's not a crowd nearby. This is just like an empty sidewalk.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I thought I
this
was
is-
like in front of the party. Okay.
No, not yet. This is still like a couple 100 feet from the front of the
Okay.
party area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I just quickly sneak away as fast as I can. Slip.
You can try. Let me see. Dun, dun, dun. Roll a. Roll roll a stealth or sneaking kind of check.
Yeah.
But what's the thing that gives you? Bless you. Bless you. What's the thing that gives you cool to do that?
Sleight of hand. We use
Sleight of
cool when
hand.
you are stealing an item, performing a trick using sleight of hand, or trying to move in a discreet way, provided that you are interacting with one of the people you are trying to deceive.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So is that cool then for that?
Yeah, you can roll cool for that.
Okay. $14.
Okay. So you start to slip by him, and Konako is like watching him drink the wine and raises an eyebrow. She doesn't see you slip away. And this dude like takes a breath, takes the wine bottle down from his mouth, and you're free. You're away from him. Konako is like, ugh, and then rolls her eyes and looks to where you were and just goes, and then looks up at this dude and then around to figure out where you went.
Hold on.
Huh?
Piper can't hear you.
Say what you saying again. My audio cut out.
Say what?
My audio cut out. What were you saying?
Oh, okay. So you see that she like is rolling her eyes at this dude triumphantly drinking a shit ton of wine. He doesn't drink all of it. He drinks a huge couple gulps of it. But when he takes a breath, she's like, ugh, and then rolls her eyes, looks at where you were, and just goes, what the and then turns and just confusedly looks around, figure out where you went. And this dude looks back down, definitely more intoxicated now, and he like raises an eyebrow and just goes, I thought there was two of you. And Konako looks up at him and just goes, unfortunately not. Now I'm going to go to this party. And she starts to walk past him, and he just grabs her by the forearm. And he turns around, he's got the wine bottle in one hand and her arm in the other hand. He just goes, I did what you asked, and now you gotta do what I say.
Okay, I'll come up from behind them and bonk him on the head.
Are you bonking him like with a hand?
Or
like are you gonna like grab like a rock or some shit?
yeah, with the rock to distract them and then sneak back into the shadows.
I say rock. There's not. I'll say like yeah, you can swoop up, grab a nearby blunt object, and club him over the head with it. I will let you rethink this because if you try to grab an object and club him over the head with it, it would take.
No, I'm not gonna club him over the head of it. I'm like from a distance, like I'm chucking it at him. Either to knock him out, or if failing that, to like, what was that? Turn around, nothing there. She gets an excuse to get away. Is what I was thinking.
Okay, so which of those do you want to do? I would say pick one and
distract.
Distract. Okay. So go ahead and roll quick to throw it. You're not throwing it to hit him, but like past him to get his attention.
Maybe like break a window of a nearby car or something.
That's easy enough to do.
Okay.
If you want it to cause a lot of noise.
Well, I don't care if it causes noise.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's easy enough to throw it so that it makes a bunch of noise.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Quick.
Yes. And if you have any throw shit specialties,
I don't think my geisha fan applies here.
likely not.
So 11.
If anyone has throw shit specialty, it would be Legacy.
Yep.
Throw can. So you grab like a nearby discarded bottle, whirl it around, spin on your heel, and chuck it. You throw it towards a parked car on the other side of the street, and it sails through the air silently, and then it lands on the glass. It doesn't shatter it to pieces, but it breaks it and bounces off of it, and you can hear the of like 1,000 pieces of glass like bending from the actual like impact. It does that thing where it folds like paper, and the dude's like, he blinks for a second real slow, and he just goes and looks up, and Neon, or not Neon, Kaneko also looks up and just goes like, what the fuck? The two guys who you saw way down the street, they are stone sober, and they go from their posture of like crossed arms, kind of standing there looking impressive and or not impressive, but imposing. They dart forward towards the car like, what the fuck? And they run over to see what's going on.
Perfect.
I will see if Kaneko can lippity dippity out.
If not, they'll see him manhandling her. So either way.
So you see Kaneko. The dude's grip is still like vice tight on her arm. She positions her palm and pulls her thumb in and makes her palm into that like a small profile as possible. Leans back and yanks, and her arm slips, but not all the way out. And you can see like the dude realize what's going on, and he squeezes tighter, and he just goes, hey, we still got plans, little lady." And the two who are over there investigating the car, they are like trying to figure out what's going on. They haven't seen this dude yet, but they might in a minute. But he is trying to move with her and to bring her along.
Do you think Konako could receive a message on her phone?
Could a message could get to her phone? It's a
Would
matter
she
of whether or
read
not
it?
she would read it. Likely not,
Okay.
because right now she is very, very focused on getting out of this grip.
Okay. What can I do now?
You also know for a fact that Kaneko is not a fighter type weapon user.
All right. Can
So
I throw
she's not
something
gonna
else
have
to
any-
continue to distract the big guards and lure them over to where Konako is, like a fucking rock jail?
Like throw another
Yeah.
like can so that they intercept the path of the dude dragging
Yeah.
Kaneko?
Yeah.
Sure. If you throw another thing, I will say you have to roll a stealth check to avoid them seeing you and this guy knowing where it comes from, though, because you're starting to like okay.
So this is to roll, and
Mhm.
then stealth.
And this would not be with Fool because you're not interacting with the actual
Yeah, that's fine.
people anymore. Okay.
I'm glad I boosted. Okay.
Okay. So you grab another nearby like can and crunch it a little bit so that it has a little bit more weight to it and chuck it in front of the dude. It sails overhead. The dude stops and sees it and just goes, and then Kaneko, you can see her, like, she grabs the inside of his hand and starts yanking like a trapped coyote. And he just looks at it like, what the fuck is happening? And he, like, without unconsciously thinking, he just, like, jerks his arm forward with Kaneko in it to, like, pull her off balance. She's like, The other two who are watching the car, they look over to where the can came from, and one of them stays near the car and starts to look around, and the other one runs over to where the can is and sees the guy with Kaneko in his hand, and then just looks left and right. He's like, hey, did you see anyone throwing shit? What the fuck is happening? The dude just shrugs and goes, dude, I don't know.
The
I don't
hint,
fucking know
Kaneko.
what's going on. Huh?
Take the hint, Kaneko.
You can see her, and she's trying to rip her hand
Scream,
out.
do something! Girl!
She is, like, the dude is, it's not like unclear that she is trying to get away. She's like grunting and like, come on, let go, and like hitting him on the hand and trying to get her grip free. But the guard, like, he looks at Kaneko and then looks at the other dude, and then he doesn't seem to care.
Okay, so I have to act personally, is what you're saying.
And that dude, he's continuing to drag Kaneko back towards where you parked the car.
Okay. Well, once the guards turn back, I'll sigh. And this time I really will knock the fucker out.
Okay. So these two guards, one of them grabs the bottle, one of them grabs the can, and they start to, like, reconvene. They're standing close to where, like, they were before, in this like, part of the sidewalk that was close to. Hold on, let me go to here, just so we have, like, scenery.
This stupid girl. Make it clear you're fighting back, you idiot.
I mean, to be fair, security at a frat boy party for rich frat boys, they're not going to do jack shit.
They don't give a fuck.
Ah! Why do you gotta make this hard? This is supposed to be a party, Joe!
Security
Yeah,
and
it's the
police in
party
this game
for-
are never going to be useful to us. Just hint.
Yeah, it's just that never expect them to do the thing that you want them to do. They're going to be like absolute ape people. I told you this before, but
Yeah, but
this
it's a
the
clear
two dudes-
assault.
For a rich,
Yeah,
for a
and-
potentially rich dude that they're probably getting paid by daddy.
I gotta be honest. I have seen people talk about, like, or not seen, but I've heard stories of people who, like these brotherhood of security or police forces or whatever. They will turn a blind eye to it with no issue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But he's taking Kaneko, and Kaneko is at this point, like, screaming for help, and she is like, like, yanking and dragging her heels. The security dudes are talking, and they look over their shoulder at Kaneko, and they have this kind of, and they don't do anything about it, but they don't really seem like they're concerned. They're trying to figure out where this fucking falling trash came from.
Okay. But I assume he's gonna continue to take her out of sight, basically.
Yes, he's going to walk up. He's not walking toward. He's walking in the direction that that your car was parked. But there are several different, like, alleyways he could conceivably dip into.
Well, I'm
One of
gonna
which
follow
is
him down into an alleyway. And then I am going to take out my geisha fan and I'm going to stab him.
okay. So, are you going to sneak past those two guards who you tried to distract?
Yeah.
Okay, roll me a stealth. Sneaky check. Okay. So they're like with Konako just yelling, like struggling against, like, let me go, you motherfucker! And she is now like trying to. She doesn't know any actual martial arts of any kind or judo, but you can see her like wanting to jump up and try to jujitsu his arm and pull her arm out. She doesn't. She just can't. I have rolled for her 4 times, and she has rolled 6. 3 of them.
We're gonna have a
But
talk.
Oof.
tough is not her strong suit.
Hmm.
So those 2 guards they're pointedly ignoring her protests. To which you sneak by, and because they're very, very pointedly ignoring it, they are looking away and pretending they don't hear anything. So you can slip by without too much of an issue.
Okay.
Big guy
Stabby stuff.
takes Konako. Are you waiting for him to get down the alleyway, or are you
Yeah,
gonna
yeah. Wait
do
for
it
him to
while
get
he's...
down to the alleyway.
Okay. He turns the corner, takes a few steps into the alleyway, and he is still holding Konako, who is starting to look very panicked. And you come around, so go ahead, and you're gonna stab him?
Yeah, I'm gonna stab him with my geisha fin.
Hell yeah.
And he was attracted to me, so can I target his cool defense instead of his normal defense?
You can.
Perfect. And my geisha fin gives me a +1, and I have 2 in it, so it's a +3, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Jesus Christ!
Oh my god.
Ooh. So that is cool.
How?
Really, really quick. Your bonuses are cool plus...
Oh, I'm not rolling my cool. I'm rolling my quick. Oops. 1 second. 1 second. Hold up. Now I'm using my quick. Or my cool. Much better.
But what is the +5 parts? Because it's the fan.
It's the fan, and it's for each one it gives a +1 to it, right? So I have be +4, not +5.
To a max of 3.
But doesn't the asset by itself give it a +1? And then a special
Yes,
in
but
it?
it only gives it only goes up to a max of 3.
Okay. Okay, so
Yeah, that is the core
Okay.
rule for anything, is the maximum bonus you can get from any individual thing is 3.
Okay, so I need to mess with my stats later. So taking that away, that would be 20 then.
3 and... Oh, 3 and 3 and 6, and okay. I'll take the bigger roll. I want to take the triple ones because that's very
I wasn't
juicy.
using my stat.
Yeah, but you did roll it first.
But
But I will say that you can keep the 20.
Okay,
So
thanks,
you
Joe.
rush forward, jump up with the fan. How do you want to like slice at him?
To kill or not to kill? That is the question. To kill, I guess. I put my fan together to reveal the pointed blade, and like I twirl my fingers, and I just right into the jugular is where I'm aiming for.
Okay. Also, you boosted this roll in a different one?
Yes.
Let me know
yes,
when
I
you're
did.
boosting. Okay.
Okay. Yes, I will do that in the future.
Yeah.
Regardless.
So you rush forward, jump up, spin the blade around, and stab it straight for his throat. You make contact. It is a like messy, garbled choking noise of confused like and he immediately lets go of Konako, who like rolls onto the ground, stands up in one fluid move, and just bolts out of the alleyway. And she bolts out of the alleyway and then stops and then runs back into the alleyway. The dude you just fought, he's done. He is like bleeding profusely and gargling, like gasping for air, and just you can see his eyes like bulging from panic and confusion. He is so drunk that he's just not processing what's happening, and now he is dying. It is a horrifying experience for him, but he earned it because he's a scumbag. So he collapses onto
I want to
onto the
point
ground.
out that I'm wearing gloves with this, okay? I'm going to reach into his wallet. What does he have on him?
You stole his wallet, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm reaching into his wallet. What does he have on him?
He has IDs. He has a couple of cards. He doesn't have any like loose credits or credit chips of any kind. But yeah, it's just like IDs, credit cards, debit card.
Okay, I'll take his debit card. Maybe I can have Legacy hack it later.
Hey.
And then I'm just gonna throw the wallet down next to him to make it look like a mugging. Like, well, we're leaving. Let's go.
Hanako grabs you and just puts a finger to her lips, and then points to the opposite end of the alleyway, just like, okay. And then starts to like pull you in that direction.
In the direction of the alleyway?
Yeah, like further into the alleyway.
Okay. It's not a dead-end alleyway, is it, Joe?
No.
Okay. Yep. Well, we're going down the alley.
So you start running down the alleyway. To which you can see now that as you're following behind Konako for a second, her wrist, like from part of her, like slightly above her elbow to her wrist, is bruised and purple. Like that dude was vice holding her. She doesn't seem bothered by it, but it was a fucking death grip. And as you're running, you can see from behind you, one of the guards just goes, hey, like runs over and not towards you, but like runs to the dude on the ground who's collapsed and is like face down in a puddle of his own fucking blood. And like, oh shit. And you get to the end of the alleyway. Go ahead and roll me one more stealth roll.
Okay.
Konako is going to boost her roll because she doesn't want to fucking
this
be
roll
around.
too.
Okay. Yeah. You both peel around the corner, duck to the left. Konako hides around the corner of the wall for a second, and you can hear her just like, okay, we're good. She turns to you and just goes, thanks, though I could have used it a lot sooner. Fuck, did you sneak away? She's
Well,
not like
the idea was that
earnestly
you
mad,
would
but more like, I fucking back in these, and she lifts up her foot, and you can see that she's wearing like her shoes, her heels. They're very fancy.
Oh, we're gonna talk about your self-defense skills when we get home.
I don't do self-defense. You're the fucking ninja. So she starts following you. You can hear that the two guards are like arguing, getting louder and louder as they like start freaking out to one another, but their voices aren't growing closer to you. So you dash down the alleyway. At which point, after maybe like another minute and a half of darting down the alleyway, you emerge on the other side. You can see from where you are now the mansion, the party grounds, cars and people and noise and music just going absolutely mental. There's like so much energy and lights and just noise here. You also see two additional security guards who these two seem a lot more kind of laid back. And at this point, you can identify them because you've started to see a pattern in the way that their body is shaped, and you're getting the impression it might be augments. They might have some type of augment around their torsos or shoulders, because they all have this sort of broad football player, like, it's not just physique, but it is literally a shape. They have a similar shape of torso and legs. The only foreseeable difference is their face and their haircuts. But they stand there, and they seem to each have a drink in a hand, just shooting the shit by the door, and you're able now to take full advantage of the party life. Kaneko is like angrily like, fucking, and she looks at her dress and starts tearing a portion of it around the chest so that she has a little bit like a deep V, and then she tears a portion of it around the thigh, tears it all the way around so it looks like it's an intentional design, and takes those two like tattered pieces of clothes and wraps them around the bruise on her arm to cover it up. And she shows it to you. It doesn't look great. It's covered up the bruise, but it looks like a shitty goth, like, ad hoc costume adjustment.
Very ninja
She's like,
chic, Kaneko.
I look terrible. And
Well,
she turns
we're
back to
getting
the
out of
alleyway
here.
and just
Come
goes,
on,
that
let's go.
motherfucking fine. And she throws her hands up. Given what just happened, she is like pretty unperturbed by it. Mostly because you get the impression that she's been in this situation before, and you've been in this situation with her, and also killed the person who tried to do it again.
I'm guessing it's too late to go hit up that other party, huh?
Well, I mean, what are the odds that the entire inside is laced with these fuckhead guards?
Well, it's
Also,
more
you don't happen to
about
have like
this.
you don't happen to have like a knife or something?
My hand
I
for
don't
my
have
fan.
any of my stuff on me. She looks at your fan, just raises an eyebrow. She's just like, "What am I supposed to do with that?"
It's a knife. Use it like a knife.
There's no subtlety with that. What am I supposed to do? Dance? The
What are
fucking
you trying to
flower
do?
dance? Well, just have it just in case. You know, like one of those, I don't know, sexy thigh daggers you see in spy movies.
I show her how to close the fan and like press up on it to like have like the blade emerge from the fan. Like, look here, just do this, okay? Keep it on your person, and when you need to do it,
she takes it and slides the blade out and back in, and then looks at the fan and turns it over in her hands and just goes, "Okay, thank you, and I will do my best not to get any blood on myself, if that happens again."
So are we going back in then? Are you going to be okay? Might want to change your hair color.
I will change my hair color, and we are going into this party because I am not going through all of that to not fuck around at a party.
Okay, fair enough. Let's go.
She takes the fan, sticks it inside of the like purse slash clutch she has, and starts walking up the stairs into the party with you. And this party is like, uh, did you ever see the opening of Batman Beyond, the old cartoon, where it's just fucking blasting lights and darkness and shapes, and it is just a like mess of club energy? It's like that. It is a just hot and loud atmosphere of bassy, blasting, thrumming music and people packed in tight. And there's drinks, some of them spilled on people, some of them still within their cups, some of them in shot glasses. And it is, I mean, it's about as raging as you can get. You get the impression that the security guards they're missing out on a lot of, well, like, this is the inside of this place is, it's a fucking what, like the Wild West in here. This is every man for themselves, every woman for themselves.
We're sticking together, by the way.
She nods and just goes, yes we are. Okay, so roll me 1d10.
1d10. 9.
9. So from where you're standing, you can see there's obviously people playing beer pong and betting on it. There's people who are playing some kind of card game of some kind of whatever nature. It's unclear, but they're so gambling on it. There's other groups of people who are playing drinking games. And lastly, you see a couple of people who are standing around a door, and it's not a bathroom door. There's 2 or 3 people who are hands in pockets, kind of closed shoulder, cupped into themselves, like trying to look discreet. And
I'm
they're
up to
huddled by
something and
this
I don't
door.
want people to know.
Yeah, and there's 3 of them. They're not necessarily like together. They're just standing close together because they're huddled by this door, waiting for the door to open so they can go in.
And it's not a bathroom.
It is not a bathroom door.
I nudge Konako and like, hey, look what's going on with there. Think got some thieves on the loose?
She raises an eyebrow. No shot. There's no thieves who would end up here and stick around. I
They're also
bet.
college kids.
And she nods and just goes, agreed. And I bet they've got something fucking crazy in that door. It's gotta be something.
Want to find
Like-
out?
She tilts her head. You can see her weighing the option and just goes, I kind of do. I 100% bet they've got some kind of glitter or some shit.
I can use my tools to find out from the next room over.
She looks at you just like, you think you can do that without getting spotted somewhere? And she looks at like every room is slammed with people.
Every room has people in it. Okay. Probably not then.
I mean, you could try to find a room without people in it, but from where you're standing, this like foyer area that has this wide open space, it is packed tight. This is a category 5 rager.
I go over and I grab like a shot glass from me and Konako. Girl can't be seen at a party without one of these. Hands it to her.
She takes it and like gives you a satisfied nod and kicks it back.
Oh, shall we?
After she drinks it, she looks over her shoulder and throws it over her shoulder and just goes, yes.
Okay, we'll both head over there.
She starts walking towards the door with you, and
Mhm.
the 2 of those people don't seem to notice you, but one of them, who the kind of vibe that this dude gives off is a similar vibe to like Hijack, in the way that his posture is hunched and his hands are in his pockets and he's kind of receded, where he's just physically making himself small. This dude has bad dark circles under his eyes. His eyes are bloodshot. He is pale. His hair is greasy and matted back. It is like a dark brown. He is wearing a shirt and hoodie with the sleeves rolled up, jeans, and what appear to be like a unlaced, like kind of like not hipster, like cliche basketball shoes.
Hmm.
And as you walk forward, he's like, he looks at you. There's nervousness in his gaze, and he just kind of looks away. And Kaneko will walk straight for the door, and she's gonna grab the handle and start to go in. And everyone else is like, the other two and that one guy, they all look at Kaneko and you, and they're just like, "Hey, wait, you gotta wait in line." And Kaneko looks in one direction and looks at you to to scare the other dude. And she's gonna roll to intimidate this guy. Pog. There in this line, there is a red-haired girl who is kind of short, and also very pasty with a lot of freckles, and her hair is long and parted down the middle. She's wearing like a leather neo shiny type jacket. The guy next to her is wearing like a bright red shirt with black pants that are they're not jeans, they're black leather or some kind of other material, some kind of plastic. They have a shine to them. It's weird. They would make, just looking at it, you feel like you would sweat like crazy if you wore those. They can't be comfortable pants. But they certainly are shiny, I guess. Kaneko looks at them and then just gives them this just fake agitated smile of like, no, I'm not gonna wait. And then opens the door, and you can see it goes downstairs. And Kaneko looks at you and just goes, "Are you coming?"
Of course I'm coming. Cheers, boys. I raise up my shot glass to follow her downstairs.
You start to go downstairs. Kaneko like looks up at the one dude in the like leather pants and just gives him one of these like just tilts her head and then flicks her hair back. They want to say something. They're like, "You're cutting. No, it's not fair." But they all just clam up. She actually crit on her intimidation roll.
Oh no, she's hot. She can do whatever she wants.
That's her entire character, is she's hot and gets to do what she wants because she's hot.
Yep.
That is her motto.
Yep.
Amazing.
So you both walk downstairs together, and as you're going down there, you start to see what the sort of energy downstairs is. There's much fewer, or far fewer people downstairs. It's not deserted. It's just not crowded. You walk down. There's a dude who, he doesn't look like a security guard in the ones that you've already seen, but this dude is definitely security for whatever private thing this is. He is decked out like fucking Blade. He's got dark shades, even though he is downstairs in a club indoors. He has a black coat that goes just below his waist. He's got a white tank top underneath. He has fingerless gloves. He has black pants that match his coat, and he has combat boots. Like, this dude, he looks so cringe, but he thinks he looks cool. And he is standing on one side of the aisleway, and he's like, "Can I help you?"
This is Kaneko's fight.
Kaneko looks at you and then looks back at him and just goes, "Yes, we are here for," and she cranes her neck a little bit. And the dude, he sees her do that and starts to lean in front of her to block her vision. And holy shit, she is remarkably consistent when she is both good and bad. She leans back and smiles. you get the impression that the dude didn't lean quite fast enough, and she's like, well, you know why we're here, and you can, and she just does like a little shooing gesture, and he just like raises an eyebrow at her. She goes, no, I insist, go away. He looks at Konako and then looks at you and looks back at Konako and he just goes, I don't think you understand who I am, ma'am. I am, and she just holds up the finger, just like, shush, go away. And he goes, and she just does the shooing gesture again. He's like, I'm not gonna There's this like moment where he's like, I'm gonna talk, but she's gonna shush me, and then I have to overpower the shushing. And it's just stalemate for a little bit. And he just steps forward and gets like more in the way. And she reaches back to you and pulls you forward and just goes, do you know who this is? And the dude looks at you and just goes, no, I don't. And I don't care who she is. And she like gets this, oh, you don't know kind of look on her face. Goes, let me tell you. And she leans forward and kind of does that, come here. Because he's a tall person, and she is also closer to your height. So she beckons him to come down. And
I'm gonna adopt a superior stance, noticing what play she's making here. A very you don't want to, or a very I own your souls sort of stance.
yes. So he looks at you and then bends down, and she's whispering something in her ear, or in his ear, and then you can see her like cupping her mouth, or cupping a hand around her mouth to whisper into his ear, then points to you, and then points past into the room, and then she takes her hand away and then gives him a little kiss on the cheek, and then slaps him, like gives him a little like right against the side of the head, and just goes, okay, now you can leave. And the dude just okay, yeah, and he takes a few like awkward steps backward, just like, go ahead, miss, and gets out of the way.
I just give a just walk past.
He, noticing your hump, he like looks like, oh shit, and then looks down at the ground. And Kaneko's just like, okay, it's fine. And as you turn around the corner, you can see on the far table, there's a whole group of people who look like they look like they got hit with a Hot Topic t-shirt cannon. It is a mess of goth and emo and scene kids all splattered into a neon corner of a basement, hunched over different
I lean
tables.
over to Kaneko. Who did you say I was?
She leans back over and just goes, I may have said that you're the daughter of the person who owns the house. I found out who owns it, by the way. And she holds up her phone, and you can see that the person who owns this house is one of the defense lawyers for Tetsuo, who is a guy named Gronik Krishnov. I'll type his name.
Okay,
It's an
so my
unfortunate name.
Why is that an unfortunate name?
It just sounds like an unfortunate name. Gronik.
Then I will be Anna Krishna for tonight. That's then I have to start speaking German. Okay, or Russian. Okay, you can do that.
She shrugs. I told him that you were one of his bastard children that he liked. Or told him. Do you... You can roll a cool check.
Okay. What am I rolling? What applies here? Is it just a cool check?
You can add your manipulation to it.
Okay. Oh, I'm not.
Hanako's lying.
That's an accident. Hold up. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Even if you just took off the 6 from that previous roll, you would still beat it because she rolled a 10. But she's just fucking with you. She told about the bastard child part. She obviously said like you are the owner of whatever, and then had some like clever proof that worked. But she just wanted to like egg you on and be like, yeah, you're the bastard child he liked best.
Huh? Rather be the bastard child than whoever actually has to own this attic place. Okay. Okay, sorry. Continue with your description of the place. By the way, I am interested.
No, you're good. Yeah. So this part of the like mansion area is a first level basement. There's not really a lot of stuff down here. It's kind of devoid. It looks like just an empty storage area that is about the size of like a large bedroom. And from one end you can see the stairs that go around and where that tough guy was standing. And on the other end you see a handful of tables that have been brought out and have what appears to be different quote unquote products out for general impressions and samples, in a sense. As you're walking up, you can see that one of these scene-looking dorks who's wearing, I shit you not, a black trench coat with a black collared shirt and black dress pants
Oh my god.
and combat boots. He has also sunglasses on and has his hair slicked back. And he also thinks he's cool as fuck. He's like Bargain Bin Neo.
Yeah, I was gonna make a Matrix reference, but
Oh yeah. Oh, he is a Bargain Bin Neo. He's got like he's about as tall as you, obviously slightly taller because you are very short. He's slightly taller than you. He probably weighs about the same as you. He is scrawny. He is a scrawny dude, and most of his weight is like probably from the extra height and his clothes. He just he also has a kind of smattering of facial hair. And as you walk up, he looks to you and just goes, "Ah, my ladies, you are welcome." And he gestures to the table. "Please, feel free to peruse my goods."
Okay.
You looking at the table, Kaneko looks at him and bows. The dude looks very satisfied with himself. But looking at the table, you can see that this entire spread it's various types of different mixtures of drug. Most of them are you can see that it's not like there's labels that say like, yeah, this is what this is and this is what that is, but there are sort of almost like a buffet. There's little signs, like a little folded sign that has what the substance is. There's a substance that's obviously just sprinkle, which is a type of less potent version of glitter, which is a stupid strong hallucinogen. There's other one called silver glitter. There's one called pixie dust. There's a whole menagerie of different versions of it. On the other end of the table, you can see what appears to be synth cocaine and some type of bluish powder that is unlabeled. And as you're perusing the different drugs, you can see that there's a handful of people who are standing back and they are counting credits. Because they are trying to get enough credits to buy something.
If I may make a suggestion, Mr.
Ah, you may call me the moon. And he smiles at you.
What did he say?
The
The
moon.
moon. Yes.
Oh, I wasn't mishearing. Okay.
No.
Your appearance, it distracts from people's eagerness to buy. You look like, well, you look like the FBI is about ready to crack down. Can you try and loosen up a little bit? Maybe ditch the goggles.
I apologize greatly, madam. I don't mean to impress upon you the aura of fear or bureaucratic hammers of justice, he says in quotation marks. I promise you, I have very little in common with the FBI, aside from a handful of knowledge and training. My goals are much different. You can trust me. These goods are both authentic and safe. Well, safely sourced.
If you say so. I might, in the future, maybe something that isn't all black and screams that I've watched Neo from The Matrix and he was my idol for the past 30 years, please. Thank you. Goes back to Kaneko. Find anything you like?
Kaneko. Say what?
But I was like, well, see anything?
Kaneko's. She gives a smile to the moon and then kind of turns around so that he can't see her mouth when she talks to you, and she just goes, "There's some high profile shit here. I don't know where this fucking clown got this, but oh my god."
Think we can make some off of it?
If we can get it off of him. That's the trick, isn't it?
There's no other guards, right?
Correct. It's just the one guy who's standing. He is watching you. He is standing on the far side of the room.
Give me a second.
Cringe.
My brain's turning.
Why don't you like the moon?
So some of these other people are like counting credits. What do they look like?
The people counting credits?
Hmm.
There's a mix of people. There's probably about 8 or 9 in different groups of 2 and 3. You see one group that look similar to the 3 who were outside the door. They have this sort of disheveled drabness to them, where they are like bad addicted to one of the substances on the table, and they need to get it while it's here.
Do they look like they might be wearing anything of value, perhaps?
The 2 who are standing like kind of shabbily counting credits?
Yeah. Not doesn't have to be of major value, just something that looks like somebody would pay for.
You can roll a roll. Well, fucking what is the word? Clever.
Oh, I'm not getting this. Clever. Yeah, rolled above a 6.
So just looking them up and down, there's no watch, there's no fancy bracelet, there's no expensive rings. You see one woman who is in a black sequin dress that falls just below her knee. She's wearing a necklace of some kind. You can't tell its value from where you're standing, but that is the only discernible thing that you're like, that might have value, that you can visually identify.
Okay. I'll take a cash worth of credits out of my pocket. You, girl, come here. Because I'm trying to be stuck-up bitch now, apparently. According to Kanako.
She like blinks and looks left and right and just goes, "Are you talking to me?"
Yes, you. Hurry up already.
Oh, and she scurries forward. You can get a better look at her now. She has short black hair that is very, very neatly matted and styled to her head. She is this like, she has a very, very light, pale skin, but it's not like a pasty pale. She looks like what the fuck is the girl who fell in love with Grimm in the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy?
Okay.
All right, this is fine. You don't know. If you know, you know. For anyone watching on Twitch, they know maybe. But she is like, she is wearing a short black sequin dress. She has her hair that's like very intentionally done in this sort of honestly like funnily enough kind of like Trinity, now that I'm thinking about it. Like the initial version of Trinity you see in the Matrix 1, except wearing a dress. And she steps forward and just goes, yes, can I help you? Is there something
I'll
that
hold
I
out.
wrong?
I'll hold out the cash to her. I want your necklace. Here.
She looks at the wad of cash and then looks at her necklace and just goes, yes. And she starts to like hastily grab it and start to yank at it and then realize like, okay. And she pulls back. You got the attention of everyone now. They all look at you like, oh, fuck. And she takes off her necklace very quickly and hands it to you. It is a little silver, or not silver, but like a stainless steel appearing necklace with an like the symbol of an atom, like the hydrogen atom, kind of like Dr. Manhattan, except a bit more intricate looking rather than just the dot in a circle. But she has that symbol on the edge or on the end of a simple, thin stainless steel chain. And you hand
I'm
her
gonna
the
ask
credit.
you for a description of that again later, just so I have it.
Yes.
But for now, continue.
Amy, read that back to me.
Necklace is a silver
Don't
stainless
read
steel necklace. Yeah. Don't test
but
me.
yes. She takes the credits and almost staggers backward. Her mouth is open, and the person sitting with her, who is a dude who looks similarly done up. He has a kind of Gomez Adams vibe, where he's wearing a suit that matches the type of like slim cut black style of her sequin dress, and his hair is also slicked back, much like the moon, but distinctly less cringe because he hasn't said anything that the moon has said. But he is like open mouth, like holy shit, looking at the cash wad, and they look up at each other and are just like, okay, and they start to reach around, like sifting through their pockets again, taking out every like teensy bit of change they can find. But you have a necklace now.
I'm hoping that they'll start to buy stuff and take attention away from me.
Yes, it doesn't take long for them to like scramble together, scrape up a handful of credits, and they're like, "That's enough. That's enough. Oh my god, yes, yes, yes!" And they rush over to the moon, and he just goes, "Ah,
I lean
yes,
into
the lovely
Kaneko.
copper."
I lean over to Kaneko. Which one's the most valuable? Get in front of me.
You get this look of like she has to make a judgment call. You know this look. She's got a guess, and she is going to make a judgment call. She
She nailed it.
she did. She like grimaces for a second and just goes, "It's the blue one." Then which you notice now that there is a blue powder that does not have a label on it. And there's
gonna
not a lot of
take
it.
advantage of this and swipe it.
Are you telling Kaneko this? Or are you just doing it?
I'm telling her to get in front of me to hide the view.
She
And then
she does get in front of you, but she like puts an arm around your back and kind of towards your waist, almost like a kind
Like
of
she's hugging
hug
me,
you
yeah.
close, hug you close kind of romantic gesture, and she looks over her shoulder, and you can see that she's making eye contact with the guard behind you.
Mhm.
And go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Okay. I'm going to boost this because I want this.
Mm-hmm. I will tell you that you had advantage because of Kaneko helping you, and
Okay.
had disadvantage because of the guard watching, but it's just gonna pan
So
out
it's
evenly.
So it's even.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Okay.
it's gonna be a flat even roll.
Okay. I'm gonna boost it, like I said.
Mm-hmm. Sheesh. So you reach forward. You don't have a baggie, you don't have a vial, you don't really have anything to contain it with. But you have the opportunity to scoop it. Are you going to scoop it in your hand?
So I didn't realize it was just laid out. I thought it was in a vial.
Oh, no, sorry. There's like a little pile of it, like almost like a just like a little mound of sugar in this kind of artsy form, meant
Can
to
I
display like
scoop it and sweep it
hold on.
into my purse?
Yes, I will make you roll a D100. However,
Oh, okay. What would you recommend I do, DM, for the best? 'Cause I don't know.
I
as far as
think
the trick is
honestly, I honestly think that scooping it into your purse is the best option.
Okay.
Because grabbing it with your hand is going to get it all over your fingers, and it's
Yeah,
going to
that's
be
what I
harder
was
to
thinking.
conceal that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Scooping it and like swiping it into your purse, and then wiping your hand off, way easier to deal with.
Okay. I'm gonna do that,
Roll a
and I'm
17.
gonna take one of the lesser valuable ones, and I'm going to buy that off of him.
Lesser valuable what?
Drug. I'm gonna give her Kaneko the
Oh.
money to buy it, and I'm gonna take a lesser drug and say, I'll be like, okay, darling, you deserve this.
Kaneko she like gives you a little kiss on the forehead, and then takes the money and leans forward, and she puts her hand right over top of where the little pile of blue powder would be to kind of cover it up. And she leans over the table, to which the moon just goes, "Ma'am, I have to ask, can you please?" And she shoves the money towards them and just goes, "I want some of your most beautiful pixie dust. I'm so excited to try whatever delightful concoction you've created, Mr. Moon." And he smiles and takes the money and tips in like an imaginary hat and just goes, "My lady, To you, it is just moon. And Kaneko does this like eye flutter and then like recedes back. And he goes, if you like. And he withdraws from his pocket very smoothly and coolly, like a practice gesture that a cool guy would do. A small tube, like a glass vial with a stopper on the top. And he scoops it forward. There's of the piles, the blue dust pile was the smallest. Most of the other ones are probably twice the size or more of that blue pile. That blue dust, you got all of it. It was one fistful worth of dust. But he reaches over, takes a slip of paper like an index card, scoops a little bit of pixie dust onto it, pours it into a tube, puts the stopper back on top of it, and hands it to Kaneko. To which she flutters her eyelashes at him and just goes, "Thank you so much. I have enjoyed my time with you, Mr. Moon." And you you can see, even though he's wearing shades, you see his eyebrows come up above the top of his sunglasses as he does that eyebrow thing. And just goes, "It is always a pleasure to serve such beautiful women." And he bows like he has finished a performance.
Come on, darling, let's get out of here, I say, and I just point blank walk out like the stuck-up rich girl I apparently am.
You point blank start to walk out. Kaneko doesn't resist. She's going with you, but as she does, she's like feigning this like as you drag her out. To which the moon, he's just eating this shit up. As you walk by the guard, roll roll a cool check, just a flat cool check.
Just flat cool check, okay.
Mm-hmm. So as you walk by the guard, you round the corner, start going up the steps. The guard is like, "Jesus Christ," and that's all he says.
Okay.
And that's it. That's the score.
Yep. Let's go out and get our payout.
Yeah, once you get all the way up to the top of the steps, Kaneko's like, "We need to fucking scram."
Yeah, let's go. We're out of here.
Walks
We're
up to the
outta
door,
here.
grabs the handle, opens it really fast and hard, pushes some of the people who were like the other people who were like desperately waiting out of the way, and just like, "Get the fuck out of the way." And they're just like, "Whoa, oh." She just starts like confidently striding alongside you. To which other people in the party who are drunk, there's a handful of men and women, and women who are watching with like awe, and they're like, "Oh shit, who they?" But you stride out in front, or out of the front of the building. The Rager still just blasting in the background behind you. The two security guards are just standing on the edge of the porch. And they look at you, they watch you go out, and they don't have any vested interest in you. And they sit there, kick back their drinks, just hang out.
Okay.
And you are scot-free.
We are getting in our car and we're headed home.
Yeah, you can easily like duck a few streets away. Between you and Kaneko, you can easily duck out of the way of the typical path to your car so that you don't have to run near those guards. Now that you know where they are and where they were,
Yeah,
you can easily avoid them.
perfect.
But you got it. You got some fucking hardcore drug.
How much is it worth so I can add it to my cash?
I will tell you above table what it is,
Okay.
and you can determine if you want to sell it. Selling
Okay.
it will be its own ordeal. it's easy to sell to someone once you find someone who's willing to buy it. Or
I
well,
figured I was
duh.
gonna give it to my JJ because he handles back alley stuff. To give it to him to sell.
So you give this shit to JJ, he's gonna be like, holy fuck. The substance you stole is blue glass. Blue glass is a biological weapon that was engineered during one of the corporate wars.
Jesus Christ.
It is a hallucinogenic powder that will send people into a spiraling trip that will last a long time, upwards of 7 days. And it is very, very easy to overdose and just completely collapse out on. It is an extremely controlled and difficult substance to get, and it is also extremely dangerous. But because it's so hard to get, it only makes it more valuable. Which is, that was what Konako was looking at. And she's like, if that is blue glass, that shit is going to be triple the value of any other drug on this table. No shot. No contest.
Okay. Perfect. Shush.
He's so cute.
Aw.
Yeah, so you got some crazy potent blue glass. You also have a vial of a substance called pixie dust, which is a derivative of sprinkle, which is a derivative of glitter.
Okay. How much could I sell these for?
Glitter slash pixie dust? Not much, because it's like trying to sell a custom it's like trying to sell a homebrew drink that you made, and you're like, no, I swear, dog, it's super good. Like, it doesn't sell. Blue glass, a lot of people you go to on the surface level of typical like fencing markets are going to be like, why the fuck do you have this? Because they're not going to know what to do with it. But if you hold on to it for a little bit and get it in the right hands of someone, you can get probably 3 cash from it.
Okay.
But it takes a while to turn around because it is a very rare and very, very hot item.
I trust you know how to handle this, JJ. Be careful, okay?
She just looks at it, just like, I would wash out your purse if I were you.
Absolutely.
Holy shit.
I'm just gonna buy a new one.
Yeah, you know what? He reaches out, grabs a trash can, holds it out, and he's like, just throw it in here.
Yep, tosses it in.
Throws it
Now,
in there,
Kanako,
closes the lid.
how do you get those hair implants? I want one.
Kanako's just like, it is such a pain in the ass. They have to go through each hair follicle via laser. So I will say that is a good stopping point, and we can move into.
Yeah.
Say what?
I did want to call Legacy and ask her if she feels.
Oh, ask her what?
You cut out.
Piper, oh no.
We can't hear you.
Piper, no.
Hello.
There we go.
Hi.
Oh.
Just there she goes. F's in chat.
Hello.
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 I was saying I am going to call Legacy and see if she wants to hack a debit card of a jackass before the money goes away.
A Legacy will do that if she gets a little bit of cash off of it too.
Of course. You get your cut. I'll explain that this guy assaulted Kanako, and if you want to pretty please ruin his life for whatever short minutes of it there are left.
Kanako's like, I don't know if he got any life left.
It's a metaphor, okay, Kona? We're trying to get us some more money here.
She just shrugs and just goes, "Well, I didn't think a metaphor would take the form of you stabbing him in the neck, but like, you know, you do you."
That speaker with legacy.
Yeah, on speaker. Let's see.
Yeah, you hear Kaneko in the background just like, "Yeah, you just fucking murdered this bro." Like, what? Dang.
Okay, so we're going through. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I can do it.
Okay. So, I will say one last thing, and then I want to get as an end session item, I want to get a general what you want to do over the next however long, like couple days, things that you would want to accomplish, and then we can enter into like a sort of cooldown period where you have time to recuperate, build things, create things, and then prepare. So for Kaya, I would guess you want to build your motorcycle.
Yes, the guy would want to ideally build all of her shit.
What all the shit do you have to build?
The bracelets.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so you want to build the bracelets, you want to build the motorcycle.
Yep.
You're going to get Ben Getty's help on the motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
There's also some other stuff that happens with the motorcycle that I will tell you about.
Oh,
But
Jesus Christ.
that's one thing. No, it's good. It's good. So
Okay.
that's one thing. I will also say, Lockhart, if you didn't have anything on your docket, you will get a message from Marcus.
Okay.
What?
Excuse me?
You get a message from
Lockhart?
Marcus.
Right.
Lockhart.
Okay.
Okay.
Lockhart gets a message from Marcus, and Marcus is asking like, "Hey, are you busy on one day a week is there one day a week that I could maybe have some of your time?"
Sure.
He goes on to explain.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
He goes on to explain like, I don't think it's a good idea for me to just get into trouble and not know how to protect myself at all. And I think you know how to protect yourself really well. And it would, if you're willing to teach a slow learner.
Aw.
Well, we'll see what you've got. We'll see what you've got, I guess.
Okay.
She has promised at least one meeting.
Okay. Cool. Legacy, I assume you're going to do some hacker planning with some of your contacts, including Hijack.
Yeah, she has that shit she needs to do, and then wants to help Ben Getty with fucking Cosmic's Netrunner shit.
Like full dive Netrunner thing.
Yeah. And then I have a lot of shit, Joe, that I haven't had a chance to talk to you about.
Okay, well, send me a list. This is going to be a period where between now and next session, I will open up a lot of different like text roleplay, and we can have dialogue in character there, so that stuff can happen and time can pass in like a more relaxed manner.
Over the next 48 hours, because your session's on Monday.
Yeah.
Shut up. In-game time is different. Shut up is different.
Different.
It's different. Just because 48 hours pass in real time and however many days pass in fake time is fine. Shut up.
Because it's that stuff, and then I feel like there was something else that she was going to bother Ben Getty about. And then she's wanting yeah, it was fucking shit for Marcus. But that's long term. And then the upgrade to her smiling girl thing to do the blink move, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And then I still want to talk to Marcus, get Marcus's brain and Bingetti's brain together, and see if there's a piston one punch thing I can do at some point.
Marcus is still wants to talk to Vengetti about something that he has not gotten the chance to do yet. Also, for the record, that Marcus would not tell you, Legacy, that he reached out to Lockhart about self-defense lessons.
Yeah, smart man. Smart man.
Aw.
Just
As
in
a
case you were curious.
two side notes here.
Mhm.
Lockhart was actually gonna ask Marcus what he wanted to know with the conversation he wanted with Pengetti. That is gonna be something she brings up. But two,
Mhm.
I mean, I don't mind, like, out of character, like, Lockhart can work with him and stuff, but I do want to find some kind of gig to try and get some cash or something.
Yeah, I need to get some cash too to build my shit because I don't have anything.
We can do a joint gig together.
We will have a lot of different disparate like independent scenes that happen in the next session where y'all are getting to do your individual like role play moments, and we can have a moment where the plan to get some cash to start accumulating power and technology and power can start happening. We can do some of this in text RP, but I think it would be cool to have the Lockhart and Marcus scene um,
Yeah.
in voice RP, and also the Lockhart or not Lockhart, and also the Marcus and Legacy conversation where Legacy's like, "Boy."
Yeah.
Cosmetic augments don't pick up anything, right?
Correct. Cosmetic augments do not take up any
So
sort
I
of.
want the hair change thing because that sounds cool as fuck.
We can get the
That
hair
just
change thing.
sounds dope. So I want to get the hair change thing. I need Kaya's help to build a drone still that I paid for.
Oh yeah, she can do that in her sleep, man.
I'm gonna buy a tag for it by the time that we meet up, so she'll have another thing to add to it. And other than that, besides doing jobs, maybe try to get to know her new associates a little more. Maybe go on a job with them if they'll let her come. If not,
Okay.
then I'm teaching Kanako basic self-defense as well, because Jesus Christ, girl, we gotta talk.
Yeah, Kaneko would 100% approach you and be like, "I need to learn how to shoot and stab because fuck
Absolutely.
every last bit of that shit that happened."
For apparently the
Yes.
second or third time at least.
Yep.
Yeah, like this, it's happened before, and she's like, I have gotten lucky too many times. Nah, not anymore."
Hell yeah.
How much cash would Legacy be able to get off of that debit card that Neon swiped?
I would say, given, do you want to roll for it now or later?
What would be the difference?
The difference is, uh, it's not going to make a difference as to how much you get. It's just a matter of like whether you roll now and know how long it's going to take, or whether you roll in the later and you're like, okay, well, I have other things I want to do, so I'll put that on the back burner.
I mean, I guess I might as well go ahead and know how long it's gonna take.
All right, roll hack. Time to roll hacky check.
Hold on, let me reread this.
Oh, was that necklace anything special or just cool looking necklace?
No, it's just a cool necklace.
Hey, that's fine. I have a cool necklace now.
It's like an atom.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is a hydrogen atom, but it's a little
Okay.
bit more like fancy looking hydrogen atom.
I was gonna ask you
Well,
what kind
I
of
say
atom.
hydrogen. It's actually not an atom. It's not a hydrogen atom. It is like the Jimmy Neutron style, just
Oh.
spiraling electrons and protons around like an orb. It is a nonsense made up atom.
I am going
like-
to boost because I have not rolled for anything this entire time, so I might as well fucking boost.
Yes. There you go.
Hell yeah.
So you get the impression that you could definitely get at least 3 cash out of it if you took your time. So maybe after a couple days, you could hack into it, get cash out of it, and get off scot-free without any issues. If you wanted to go faster, you would get less cash or risk being found.
Okay. Right, she's gonna try to get the maximum amount so that she can, like, if it's 3, take 1 and give the other 2 to,
Yeah.
Neon.
Pleasure
Yeah.
doing business with you.
Legacy is more than happy to hack just about anything you give her, but she will take a cut. It's like,
Neon understands. Artists must be paid for their work. She gets it.
That was a fun raid.
Hell yeah.
Jesus Christ. That was a roller coaster.
I'm